Welcome back to More to Media here on Daily Ad Brief. I'm Howard Walpoff, your host. And today we have a guest from La Selva Beach, California, Cedar Milazzo from Nobl Media. And Cedar, welcome to our conversation today.
Thanks, Howard. Nice to be here.
Well, we're excited to have you and to learn a lot more about you. So why don't you start by sharing with us about the work you're doing right now with your clients, with your agency, and the things that you're specifically focusing on?
Yeah, absolutely. So in a nutshell, Nobl Media is helping people to be responsible with their ad spend, essentially to get better results and at the same time save the world. Essentially, what we're doing really is targeting the most credible, trustworthy content on the internet with the world's first responsible programmatic advertising solution. So you might ask, what is responsible advertising? So basically, it's the concept of being responsible and conscious with an advertiser's media spend to make sure that they're supporting high quality, less divisive, and more legitimate content.
I think that's very important in this day and age when there's a lot of questionable media that's out there and people are gravitating towards. You want to make sure that your statements, the company's statements that you are supporting are on something that's reputable, something that's really is in line with what their mission is. So having that reputable concept really is a strong statement for you as you're gathering and disseminating information for clients.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, with advertisers basically paying for the free internet and more of them being placed with opaque advertising technology algorithms, it quite often will end up on divisive or misleading content. So it's more important than ever to make sure that you're conscious about where your ad spend is going. With Nobl Media, advertisers really can kind of just set it and forget it, and we'll make sure that everything is going to highly credible, highly trustworthy content. And at the same time, making sure that it's actually the most performant content out there.
I think that's one of the biggest focuses that companies have when they're bringing on an agency to do this. There's so many platforms in general, and there's so many places you can be to get your impressions that 90% of them, you probably have no idea what they are, but they're getting that traction. And an agency like yours that understands what the demo is that they're trying to reach is really going to use their dollars wisely and make those spends that they need to really get the results that they're looking for.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're not just an agency; we're actually an ad tech company as well. So we work with a lot of other agencies as well as with DSPs and SSPs to actually make sure that your programmatic advertising across the board, whether you're using us as an agency or somebody else, that you are not plagued by that lack of transparency, that you don't have those brand safety issues, that you don't have a huge amount of fraud. All those sorts of issues kind of go away when you have really credible, high quality content. And so it's really important to understand we offer a technology solution for other advertising agencies as well as our direct clients.
So what kind of conversations are you having with new clients that are coming on to figure out what best methods to tell their story and what avenues to take their messaging to get response from this type of audience they're looking for?
I think, recently, I think one of the biggest stories, I think back a couple of months and still ongoing, is, when Russia invaded Ukraine. There was a huge concern about supporting Russian propaganda and spending ad money on things that are supporting the Russian military or the Russian, government or specific people within the Russian government. And so clients were talking to us really about how do we avoid placing our ads next to content that's either coming from the Russian government or even supporting the Russian story. And so what we were able to do is go back and look at all of the places that things like the State Department and other kind of knowledgeable entities are their research around what sort of sites online are actually supporting this. And we did some validation to make sure none of those sites would come through with our algorithms, with our machine learning models. And lo and behold, across the board, we did a great job of making sure that as advertisers sign up and use the Nobl algorithms to place their ads, none of those were being placed on any of these sites that the U.S. State Department and other kind of entities like that were flagging as Russian disinformation or propaganda sites. That's one of the examples of the kind of conversations we're having. how do you just make sure that you're supporting legitimate content? You're not out there supporting things that are going against your brand values, or frankly, against democratic values.
Well, it's great that you really have your finger on the pulse, because those things, again, this has been going on for 6 months. The situation, unfortunately for everyone, especially the people in Ukraine, but there are things that happen at a moment's notice, and you have to figure out what's the best ways to keep people off of those platforms. And it's really great that this is part of your focus and part of things you do for your clients. So we thank you so much for joining us and for sharing this with us today.
Thank you very much, Howard. It was great to be here.
And thank you all for joining us as well. Cedar brings up some great points, and what they're doing is really fantastic for the client. They really have their focus. They're making sure that your messaging is places that are appropriate and places that you're comfortable with, and stick with the message of what your company is doing and the messaging of your advertising. So please check out more information about them here on Daily Ad Brief. But go out, have a great rest of today, and we'll see you next time on More to Media.
Simplify presents Addressable CTV, combining the power of TV with the targeting and attribution of digital. Simplify's Addressable CTV delivers massive reach with the ability to scale without sacrificing precision. TV buyers can generate incremental reach with household-level targeting, frequency controls, reporting, and insights. To learn more about Simplify's Addressable CTV and what it can do for your clients, visit simply.fi.